Can you hear the difference? I just made a little change.
No, I can't.
Hey, Glenn, welcome to our podcast. I'm Jason.
And I'm Karen.
This is the Walking Glenn cast, episode 1.
Oh, I can't believe
Glenn, all the
people
time.
don't like Glenn. I hate Glenn.
Yeah, totally.
I know
I've gotten like maybe 4 or 5 different comments. Some of them are nice. You'll hear one later.
This is going to be a completely G-free episode. There's no G word in this episode. Don't worry.
But just don't have to see our favorite characters. Okay,
You know who he is, Gracie.
I just want to, speaking of Gracie, thank Gracie for coming on and filling in last time and interviewing Lauren Cohan.
She did a
was
great job. Thank you, Gracie.
I was particularly impressed because she's also a Glenn obsessive, but she was able to be civil to Lauren who plays Glenn's girlfriend.
And not make all the questions based on how it is to kiss Glenn.
She had a lot of Glenn stuff. Isn't it great how Glenn's character is so, like, he brings such light into your life?
Isn't that great how good looking he is?
What's it like working with him?
All right, that's it. Now we're going to talk. Done.
No, but I really want to thank you for doing that. That was a lot of fun. You did a
You did a
great
great
job. Also, if you guys haven't listened to the Randy Caro interview, I generally really enjoyed that and thought it was great. So I recommend that. He's got a really interesting perspective. He usually interview actors and they're great, but it's fun to hear a totally different perspective. Plus, he's been in the industry for a long time, so he's had tons of stuff to talk about. We really had to say anything.
And you know, it's funny. There were so many things I want to ask him about.
Yeah.
I want to ask him about people
I know,
too.
you didn't ask me. Did you know he worked on Pulp Fiction?
He's worked on all of the that direct,
Tarantino?
all the Tarantino movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good on. And he was great.
Yeah, he was
I loved him.
cool.
Yep.
So I realize some of you may have started listening to us, with the beginning of season 2, and you didn't hear us on last season. So I just want to let you know that when the show's not on the air, the show changes just a little bit. We have news about The Walking Dead. Our Deadcast top 5. You might have heard us last time. We just do a kind of top 5 about something zombie related. This week it's the top 5 shows or movies that we'd like to see overrun with zombies.
Yep.
And then we'll still do Game of Thrones and Grunts. Then we'll have the news from Zombie Gone. I'll just let that speak for itself. Zombie news from around the world with Karen. And that's it. So yeah, before we get started though, I wanted to mention that I listened to the audiobook of The Rise of the Governor, The Walking Dead book.
How was it?
You want to hear a little review?
Yes.
Okay, this will be a little tough to do without spoilers, but I will try my best. So The Rise of the Governor, in case you don't know, is a book co-written by Robert Kirkman, Walking Dead creator, and this guy Jay Bonsinger. It's about a character who appears in the comics that we all know as this like horrible villain called the Governor. But the show's, it's his backstory basically.
Yeah.
So I thought the book was okay. It was, he wrote it very descriptively, which was kind of thrilling, but it also didn't quite fit in with like you have these characters who are very, they're suffering through the apocalypse. But then when a zombie gets hit, it's like his occipital lobe was splayed across the way. It's like very,
Wow.
just really getting into the almost medical details of what it's like.
Yeah.
And it's fun, but it just didn't feel like it would come from their point of view. I think I'm a little ruined because I took all those creative writing classes, so I'm supposed to sit with one character's perspective and write from how they would think.
It's ruined your favorite character.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I did like it, and especially if you like horror or genre fiction, I'd say give it a shot. But if you've read the comics like I have, it's almost not as good. I think it'd be better if you hadn't read the comics because it's called The Rise of the Governor. So you expect to learn how this guy rose up to be the governor of this little township, but you don't find that out. You find it. I want to tell you guys this just so you have your expectations set. So it kind of ends when he, a little shortly after he gets to town. So it's a bit of a disappointment. But maybe now that you know, if you're not expecting to learn how he, kind of like political machinations, how he becomes the leader of this town. Now that you know you're not going to get that. You might like it a little more. So anyway, I guess my ultimate thing is that if you really like nonfiction or if you're completist, if you really want to get the full story, I definitely would read it. It's fun. But if you're just looking for like a really awesome zombie story, I bet there's other stuff out there to read.
Yeah. So does it take up to when he's with The Walking Dead when he meets up with where The Walking Dead comics?
No. Yeah, when they meet him, he's already in charge.
So it's not going to spoil the comic really at all.
No, not at all.
Oh,
Not even a little bit. In fact, that's the other thing is I was a little disappointed at. It wasn't believable to me that this guy would be such a villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
So did you listen to it? Did you listen to it as an audiobook? Did you listen to it on driving or when you're on a walk?
Yeah, both. Yeah, yeah, it was long. So walking, driving.
So even during the best of times when you're on a walk, you often you have an active imagination. You imagine the zombies after you.
Yeah.
What's it like when you're listening to zombie fiction?
Well, it's good. I mean, it's one thing about this is it's filled with zombie action, which is maybe I don't think people have about the show. There's not enough of that, so that was good. And when I did like the descriptiveness, even though I a little bit saying that's not how the characters might see it sometimes, but I liked it. And it really made it. It was like just painting a picture,
Yeah.
So yeah, that was cool.
That's great.
Lots of good zombie action. Can't believe that. Okay, so is that enough for you to decide not to read it?
Yeah.
Let's move on.
And I'm obsessed right now with something I'll talk about later.
Okay, cool. And news. Okay, cool. So let's move on to news about Walking Dead. Just a few things this time. First of all, the ratings for the first half of the season averaged 6.6 million viewers per episode, which is really good. It's one of the highest ever rated cable dramas, and they're holding strong. So glad to hear that.
That's good.
I like to read little interview tidbits, just like my favorite question from an interview, and I'll give you the website. So if you want to read the whole thing, go to the site. So this one is from with Chandler Riggs, who plays Carl at RedCentral.com. They asked him, are there any actors you didn't have a scene with in season 1 that you'd like to work with this season? He says Daryl Dixon. So I can totally see him looking at
Yes,
Daryl.
yeah,
He says there's a scene coming up when I asked him if I can shoot the crossbow, and he tells Carl to go pester his father. That seems really cool for me because that was the first time Carl has ever spoken to Daryl. There's another scene later on with Walker 2. That was fun.
I like that kid.
Yeah, he says he watches every episode of the show. He really seems to do it.
He's a good boy.
We gotta have him again.
Good.
Okay, next, the AMC senior vice president of original programming, Joel Stillman, was on LostRemote.com, and the interview is mostly about the show The Talking Dead, the talk show.
Yeah, right. It comes on after The Walking Dead television show.
But I was most interested in this little piece that didn't really have much to do with that. He said there seems to be a very strong interest in how we make the show, the minutia of how you make a zombie and make it convincing. The black mouthwash, what the walkers actually are eating when they eat someone. The answer is it's barbecue. There's
You're kind of screwed. You're vegetarian.
Oh, that's right. You
Yeah.
can say that.
That's fun working thing.
Yeah. Okay, BaltimoreSun.com had some kind of silly Walking Dead mid-season awards. Best dressed human living was Dale. He always seems to find a cheerful looking button-down shirt, even as resources dwindle.
And the fisherman's cap.
Best dressed human deceased was they had a picture of the zombie that was in the tent that Daryl went into for Sophia. They this lonely chap who apparently blew off the bottom half of his jaw with a firearm, but not before dawn, his finest tie-dye t-shirt is made in a tuxedo. He's hit Mr. Collins bun.
I didn't even notice that. That's great.
It was all dirty and ratty.
And Domestic Violence.
Best motivation to stay alive, Maggie. Best zombie kill, the well swimmer. Cutest little zombie, Sophia.
Yep.
Most underutilized character, T-Dog.
Yes. Can you even see him talk much?
He said damn one time. That was his whole thing. He got paid $500,000 for the season.
It's nice to be him.
Yeah, I'm still hoping because he's teased that he'll build a new character, but so far we just know that he's a klutz. And he says damn.
I hope that artery really
Yeah. This is a good one. Interview with Norman Reedus on DamonStevie.com. He says, oh, this is like a little Nansen story. This is great. He says, I can say that in the second half, after this hiatus, people are done talking. It's all kinds of firecrackers from here on out. It gets more action-packed. First part of the season, it was slow and people have to talk. That's just how it works. I think the writers have done a great job of setting up storylines and explaining them when they need to be explained, and not over-talking or overthinking it. There's certain things that need to be said. People start moving. I think they've done a good job with it. I know when people watch the show, they go, more zombies, more death. But you have to do the talking, otherwise it's Transformers. Which I hate. But I hope he's right. That there's more action.
Yeah, and I hope that they move around a little bit and they get a different set.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, people are complaining that the storyline of Sophia dragged on too long, and I agree.
Although that payout is very interesting. That was good. Half season finale.
I really believe that they really saved themselves because that was so powerful with a lot of people,
Yeah.
who like maybe ready to write off the show,
Yeah.
and then they're like, whoa,
Yeah,
forget that.
exactly. I agree.
Entertainment Weekly had results of the survey showing the favorite and least favorite shows of Republicans and Democrats. Some Democrat favorites were The Daily Show, Modern Family, Glee, and Late Show with David Letterman. Some Republican favorites, The Bachelor, Castle, The Biggest Loser, and The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Some Democrat least favorites, Price is Right, and Ghost Hunters. Some of the Republican least favorites, South Park, Weeds, Dexter, and The Walking Dead. Oh my God.
Republicans hating on The Walking Dead.
Come on.
And Dexter's great. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, you should. It's all right. I'm watching it.
Well, come on, Republicans. Give the
Yeah, it's about the apocalypse.
Yeah,
You should do that. So there's an interview with Jeffrey DeMunn at veryware.com. It's a couple months old, but I just read it and thought it was really interesting. He's talking about Frank. Well, they asked him, it seemed like Frank Darabont's impact is still felt, and I think that speaks to how strong his vision was in season 2. He says Frank's work is right through episode 8, which we just saw. Wait, no, 7.
No,
7.
yeah.
That's what he meant. His first 2 episodes got put into one. So that's what he's referring to this in season finale. And I believe that will complete what is shown this autumn, and then there's a hiatus followed by the remainder of the season, which had nothing to do with the plotline and so on. So I didn't totally realize that. What we've done so far is
a lot of
Darabont plots.
Yeah.
So now you asked me earlier, would I be satisfied? When would I be satisfied that the show's going to get without him?
Right.
And now I know that it's next season. you know, next February.
Next half.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be asking that question.
Yeah, we'll see.
How interesting.
But he goes on, the remainder of the season, he had nothing to do with another big thing. I don't need to go on and on about Frank. He's a genius. One thing, every makeup, every costume, people knew you had to run it by Frank, and he had his hand in everything, especially the editing. So what we do have now for this year is the edit that is not the Darabont edit, and that you'll see some differences. I believe some people have noticed that already. So it sounds like he's sort of saying if it's not as good this year so far, it's because Darabont didn't edit what we've seen.
You think?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Wow, because I actually liked how.
Oh, I love it too.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just saying, Jeffrey DeMunn is a long-time collaborator.
Darabont guy,
Yeah.
the Nist, and all those other movies.
Next interview with John Bernthal, who plays Shane at TheWrap.com. This one has a tiny spoiler about next season. There's 2 more items in the news, both that are slightly spoilers, so if you really want to stay away from spoilers, go ahead and move on, but it's just small. So yeah, so where did you land on the issue of Shane killing Otis? Is he a hero or a villain? He says, I think he's a freaking hero. I'm just kidding. He says, I think it's really important when playing a character to love him and believe him, and I don't think people act out of evilness. I think Shane is a guy who's really trying to adapt to this new world order where things like shame and emotion and a moral compass, he looks at those as things that will hold you back in this world. You have to make hard decisions and sort of build this wall around your emotions. What's interesting about the character is that that's an impossible thing to do, and he's an unbelievably emotional guy. I'm not here to say that because if he thinks he's holding back his emotions, he's not.
Yeah.
He's a hard-feeling guy, and it's impossible to build a wall around your heart. And I think that's really trying hard to show that he's really trying hard to show how he's different than Rick. He's the guy who's willing to make hard decisions and he's a survivor.
And he has
And he goes. So where can he go from here? They're kind of dancing around each other right now, but that has to boil over eventually, right? So here's what it's kind of spoiler. She says, what's so interesting about the second half of the season is that Rick is going to prove that he's very much capable of keeping these people alive. What that does to Shane is really, really interesting. You want somebody to be a certain way, and then they prove that they actually are that way, and what happens then can be very explosive. So I just think he wants Rick to be the leader, but then Rick actually steps up. Maybe he doesn't like it so much. Shane doesn't like it.
Make a lot of mileage out of Shane this season.
Totally, man.
Yep.
I mean, I was thinking about it. If it wasn't for Shane this season, they would have had to reboot it because he's really been the source of a lot of the energy, conflict, drama, and what's made it fun to watch.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Here's the last one. A rumor according to TV Line is that one of the cast members was so upset by Darabon's dismissal that they requested to be released from the contract. Eventually, their wish was granted, but by that point, the cast member had changed their mind and decided they wanted to stay. But reportedly, despite the change of heart, character still going to be dismissed via zombie or some other equally unpleasant way dying now that they're no longer protected by contract.
Who?
Well, I think it's Jeffrey DeMunn. Based on that interview I just read from.
Yeah,
But I don't
maybe.
have any knowledge of that, so it's just conjecture. Also, there's a rumor. We don't know if it's true. But
Wow, maybe it was Sophia. Cheers.
yeah, it's like Darabon's not in it. Out of here. Might not be working with Frank Darabont. That's the actors. Okay, that's it for the news. Let's move on.
Attention shoppers, Vidcast Top 5 in 5, 4, 3, 2.
This top 5 episodes, top 5 movies or TV shows we'd like to see overrun with Zids and why. You go first. I'm tired of talking.
Good. My number 5 is The Walking Dead.
Of course.
It's always better when there's more Zeds. What can I say?
I was going to make a joke on number 1, but you actually put it on your list. And I agree. It happens zombies in there. My number 5 is Leave It to Beaver.
Oh yeah, we were thinking about this. We did this list in David and I did this list together in St. John in the Virgin Islands. We're sitting on the patio. It was beautiful. Looking out over the Caribbean. It was freaking gorgeous. And yeah, we were trying to imagine all that. We had a great time. We had some wine.
It just seems like the meanest one to put on the list, so that's why I like it. Because
Yes.
would probably just eat the beaver. Maybe Ward would ward them off.
I don't think so. I think the only one who would do anything is who's the
Eddie Haskell.
Yes, Eddie Haskell, the only one who would fight the zombies.
They'd all be toast, man.
I have one that's
Wake up, beef! Zombie!
You look beautiful today, Mrs. Cleaver. Okay,
Beaver.
my turn. Survivor. Make it real.
More
Make it real, people. Yeah. Right now, you're sort of concocting fake survival things like eating a bucket full of toast.
Not real actual ones like zombies.
Precisely. Let's get some real action going and let's make this a real survivor situation.
My number 4 is General Hospital.
Oh, nice.
Because especially because on soaps they're always so busy just in these like self-obsessed about their relationships and tortured about these mostly relationships,
Yes.
baby twos and stuff.
Yes.
I need somebody to get their minds off those things.
Except for the people.
Yeah, I
I
think
agree.
actually a lot of them would benefit from having some real problems and realizing that they shouldn't spend all their time worrying about that kind of
Do you think the housewives would bite? I mean, do you think that they would?
stuff. No, they hate it. I think. Well, these days, most of the soaps are dying out anyway.
Yes.
They're the only couple left. All my
Right.
children's gone.
I know.
So
They should
why not send General Hospital out in style?
Bang.
Yeah.
But there are. My number 3 is Jersey Shore. Now, it seems like a lot of soap operas have been replaced by reality TV, and
Sure.
one of the excruciating ones is Jersey Shore. I have never watched Jersey Shore. However,
It's one of those shows you can still make fun of even though you haven't watched it. Some people make fun
I
of it.
sure hell would watch it if
It's
they brought on
fun,
zombies.
yeah.
So, no producers. If you want to increase ratings, bring on zombies.
And even though zombies don't exist, you can hire some like people on death row who are going to die anyway to come on and just murder them.
Great idea.
Yeah, dress them up.
That is the best idea I've heard.
That's reality.
I love it.
My number 3 is The Karate Kid. 'Cause I want to see Daniel-san attempting his crane technique and watch the zombies' heads actually fly off.
Is that the crane technique? Does he?
He puts his arm up like this,
Yeah,
chin on one leg,
yeah.
and then he hops off and hits Johnny in the chin. You know Karate Kid?
No, I
Oh, that was my
didn't.
favorite movie for years.
Can you believe I've never seen Karate
No,
Kid? Yeah,
it's
unbelievable.
amazing. Actually, I don't know, but I love it.
I love that movie. I don't know how I haven't seen it. Yeah, that would be great. That'd be great. My number 2 is The Brady Bunch. For the same reason you wanted zombies to visit Beaver, I wanted to visit the Brady Bunch. Specifically, I would love to see the zombie Alice. And I would love to see the zombie Alice go after
All the kids.
Oh my god.
Alice! And there'd be more kids to eat on the Brady Bunch. 6 of them.
Plus the parents.
Okay, that was your number 3.
Yes.
Okay, my number 2 is The Incredible Hulk, the TV show. Did you watch that?
I never watched it.
Lou Ferrigno, Hulk out and he'd
Yeah.
like the cars and stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome because he would just smash all the zombie heads and stuff. And he'd kick ass, totally kick ass for a while. Then eventually, when he's sleeping in the scanner, he'd get bit and then he turned into a zombie Hulk.
The zombie Hulk.
Yeah.
And would he be stoppable?
No.
Hey, somebody must have been able to stop the Hulk. Like his love interest.
I mean, yeah, it's all like, well, the show, it's Bruce Banner is very sad. He gets in a car accident with his wife and he can't lift the car for her to get escape from underneath and she dies.
Oh.
So he does all this, if I remember right, research on how to make himself stronger, and through one of his experiments, he accidentally makes himself into the Hulk.
Right.
So whenever he gets mad, he turns into the Hulk and he can't control it. And he just goes on a mindless rampage. Hulk is not smart. He doesn't talk. He's just almost like a zombie anyway.
Wow.
He goes on these mindless rampage. And the every once in a while, some beautiful woman will be able to calm Hulk down.
Yeah.
Singing to him or something. He'll sit and slowly
Turn back
yeah.
and does he try to get a process?
So he's being hunted by the FBI, so he has to like be on the road all the time on the run.
That
So
is
he's
sad.
alone and he meets new people every week and terrorizes them.
Is it based on comic book?
Yeah, the Incredible Hulk.
I think the comic book first, and then it was a TV show.
Yeah, that's my number 2.
My number 1 is The O'Reilly Factor. Or let's just face it, all of Fox News. Do you remember in one of the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episodes when they do a zombie episode? Remember that? Oh, so good. The zombie attacks Homer, and he's like, "Brain." He goes to Homer, and he taps on Homer's head, and listen, it sounds like it's something like and it keeps going. I have a feeling that the zombies would tap on the newscaster, any broadcaster really, and then keep checking.
I'm on it. My number 1 is 6 Feet Under because there's all these dead people around.
Yeah.
So they just wake up all at once overnight.
That would be
Fun.
perfect.
It's all about this family who's in
Undertakers.
Undertakers at this mortuary, and so it's my favorite show of all time, by the way. Yeah, and so they would maybe people who would guest star on the show in the past. Have you seen it?
I've seen a couple.
Every episode opens with some random person dying.
Oh, I have not. You know what?
They all come back.
I haven't seen enough of them to know that.
Realize that pattern every single one.
Man, there's so much good TV out there.
Oh, that was amazing. I watched all of them in like a week. And
Really?
It was
Wow.
very
You mean
impactful.
if you were on Desert Island, you would want 6 Feet Under with you rather than Breaking Bad?
Oh, good point. Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Interesting.
Because Breaking Bad, I think, is really clever and it does point at some human truth, but 6 Feet Under is more emotional.
Yeah, yeah,
emotionally gripping.
right.
Yeah. So what's your number 1?
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
honorable mention for me is The Bachelorette. One spunky, cute, adventurous young woman meets 25 eligible shambling brain ghouls.
Oh, and maybe she turns into like a Buffy and takes him out.
Yeah, and she has to. I don't know. She has to marry one of them. At the end.
She has him on a leash, or like the thing that Herschel had.
Yeah,
on the
really.
movie.
Come on.
Yeah.
Probably. I got some listener submitted top 5s. This is from let's read these like switch off. Do you want to go
Okay, this one's from Jerry. His list is number 5, American Idol or whatever show Simon Cowell was on. I think he's on X Factor. Yeah, that's hilarious. Jersey Shore. Ding, ding. But zombies may not invade because we don't have brains. Oh, Jerry, that's fabulous. Number 3, Star Trek because phasing zombies sounds fun. I agree.
Yeah.
Phasers.
The word already like zombies in my opinion, but we can just
Another
zombies.
board.
Yeah.
Survivor. Let's make a true survival show. This guy.
already
I know. And Tommy Seinfeld because those puts me in a good zombie chilling. Although those people are so toxic they might actually poison the zombies.
And this is from Jerry. By the
Thanks,
way.
Jerry. That's awesome.
From Lindsay from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She says, "Hello, Jason Karen. Number 5, Jersey Shore. I really want Jersey Shore people to be.
Yes.
Y'all know that watching a bunch of weirdos running around acting like morons would be much more entertaining if they were running from zombies. Also, let's face it, everyone wants to see Snippy dating.
Yep.
Number 4, Kill Bill. One of my favorite movies, or 2 movies technically. Can Kill Bill 1 and 2. Watching Beatrix Kiddo cut off zombie heads in addition to psychotic assassins.
yeah.
Oh, totally.
Yep.
That's a sequel screen to be made. Kill Bill 3.
Love you, Kiddo.
Kill Bill 3 and 4. What are zombies kills that? So number 3, Dexter. For anyone who's seen Dexter knows that he only kills criminals or bad people. Well, Zed Ronaldo feels most killing would be a lot more justified. And the people that he just killed would just wake up again and try to eat him. They kill him twice. And number 2, Lost. Wouldn't have the series finale been better if at the end Jack was laying there being chomped by zombies.
Yes.
But they always did joke that season 7 would be a zombie season.
Yeah, they did. Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
I think so. I'm sure Jason does too. I think it would be cool if to see Hurley as a big fat zombie for sure.
Hey, love her.
Hey, that guy. Cool guy. And finally, number 1, The Wizard of Oz. 2 words, zombie munchkins.
Oh my god, for my birthday, David and I watched The Wizard of Oz and we put on Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, it goes with it, right?
It goes with it. Yeah, the second roar of the MGM line. You start playing, you press play, and you have to play. I think it's 2.5 times the soundtrack of Dark Side of the Moon, but it's
cool.
fantastic. And zombie mentions would have made it even better. This is from Thomas. Thomas' top 5 TV shows, movies that would be better with zombies. Could come up with 4 that I really like. Only come up with 4 that I really like. Sorry. Yeah, you better stop. Number 4, The Simpsons. Now, yes, The Simpsons have been the whole zombie thing a few times with 3 episodes, but really those aren't in the continuity of the series. I personally would love to see a regular character as a zombie. After all, the zombie shows and movies, there's no consistent zombie around. The Simpsons could revolutionize the zombie genre by having a consistent zombie character. Not to mention, I'm sure an actor would do wonders with that character. I agree.
But if you had one consistent zombie character, then the other characters would eventually all be zombies.
He's not a very good zombie. He's not smart. He's not.
Maybe they should have the grandpa become a zombie because he doesn't have any teeth.
Right, and he's happy there.
And Maggie did one too.
That'd be great. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. One of all-time favorites, mine too. For those who are geeks, this movie is a must-have. Featuring all sorts of video games and early references. And the only disappointing part of the whole movie is the zombies. While the movie should have been the comical zombies like Each on the Dead on Land, it still would have been provided. It still would provide back to those people who love the genre and would have provided a little extra to the movie. Did you see? Scott Pilgrim?
Yeah,
So
good.
good.
Yeah, I really like that.
I really like it. Number 2, Lord of the Rings trilogy. I mean, come on. J.R.R. Tolkien may have written the book prior to the whole Marathon craze, but you could at least include some undead members of Sauron's armies. Imagine the Battle of Helm's Deep. But instead it works. You get a herd of random zombies. Or Frodo and Sam maybe force mountains defeating a particularly persistent walker. While it may not have been in the books, reimagining the movies in that way might reflect what Tolkien might have done. Had the genre been really available at the time, would have been incredible.
I think, I've read those books a lot, but I think at the end there's the big battle of all the armies. They do raise a bunch of dead. One of the sides raises a bunch of dead. I don't know. I guess maybe we can count those as zombies. I think they're like ghosts. But anyway, yeah, cool.
No, I'm wondering. We're gonna get information on
Yeah,
this.
oh yeah.
And number 1, Friends. Look at it this way. They're all fortified together in an apartment complex, which was much of the appeal of the show. Everybody's sleeping with everybody else, throwing a few zombies, and you have The Walking Dead. To mention the character relationships, the feuds they had, the relationships that sparked up from particularly different situations, difficult situations. Adding in zombies just seems like complete second nature to me. Oh, that is brilliant. Thank you, Thomas. That's great.
Okay, thanks, Thomas. This last one's from Jonathan. Real Housewives of your choice. Basically, these women would last the longest out of all, almost entirely made of plastic and lacking brains. I think we found our heroes for the coming apocalypse. For A Christmas Story, Ralphie would be asking Santa for a real rifle in his take on the Christmas classic. Let's figure it out. Daytime soap, pick one. I can't think of any other way of boosting ratings for the once popular housewife daytime TV.
Exactly.
Glee, please, dear God, eat every one of those music-destroying jokers. What's got you? Number 1, Survivor, outrun, outkill, outeat.
Jonathan, that's so
Good
great.
stuff.
Love
All
it.
right, we'll take a break. There's more to come. Save us. We're back in time for Listener Notes. So since we last did a normal podcast, we got that one email from Jason Shane. I don't know if you remember that guy very much. And he was very pretty much pro Shane. He had some caveats, but so I wrote back to him, just one-on-one.
Yeah.
And then I got another email from another guy and another one I've been talking to on message boards. And we're having these long email discussions about Shane because it touched a nerve with me, about people thinking that you want to have Shane with you. And me thinking not. But as I thought deeper about it, I did realize that there's some things that Shane was right about. I think I even said it on
And that's
podcast.
why you got the
So I got Shane haircut, and now from now on I take no prisoners. If you're not useful to me, I'll kill you. No, I'm kidding. But just through that lens, there's a lot of emails that relate to that. So let's
All right, so this is from Evil Jason. He says, me again, thanks for reading my email here, and thanks for making me spend the rest of the day pondering if I was a sociopath. Just give response to what was said on here. First, I would never shoot Karen in the head. Phew,
That's nice.
unless I had a good reason. Hey,
That's not nice.
I'll give you plenty of reasons, pal. It's not nice to think that people in the zombie apocalypse can just walk around shooting people that they disagree with in the head. It's just that I think once the zombie apocalypse happens, the game has changed. You have to have priorities, you have to protect yours, and you have to, above all, stay alive. You have to be harder. Look at Shane Dale. Dale's speech was noble but naive. Of course the world is going to change you. That is the way the world works. Adapt or die. If the world gets hard, you get harder. All the ideals in the world are worthless. No one's alive to believe them. Shane, on the other hand, is a realist. He does what he has to keep the people he cares about alive. Maybe his choices are immoral or, if you must, evil, but they get the job done. They keep him and, more importantly, Carl alive. All Dale's choices do is get your guns wet and out of reach. Honestly, when the shit has hit the fan, who would you rather have on your team? Hard ass that will kill someone else to keep your son alive, or the old guy that wants to hide the guns in the swamp? Oh, and about Shane giving the stuff to Otis and sacrificing himself. Otis was done. It wasn't a question of him having an injury that he could just man up and fight through. Otis was an out-of-shape fat guy that had nothing left in the tank. Shane, on the other hand, is a highly trained police officer and keeps physical condition with nothing but a sprained ankle. Only one of them had what it took to make it out of there. Another thing, I don't agree with Shane on everything. He definitely should leave Lori the F alone. Another example of it being a different world. Let's talk about Herschel's farm. It's Herschel's farm, so he gets to make rules, not anymore. What's Herschel going to do? Hated the Bible? Otis told Shane already that they didn't have any other guns. I'm sorry, but the law of the land has changed. If you have a safe place and refuse to share it with me, you are basically sentencing me to death. Therefore, I'm going to take your safe place. I may even still be more civil than you and at least offer you the chance to stay there with me. But if you demand my people leave your land, why the hell would I leave you if you can't make me? I think this is where Rick is moving to. The old ways are dead. You fight, you do what it takes to survive, and you live one more day. If anything threatens you anymore, you take it out. Thanks for reading another long email from you. You guys are great. Stay safe and don't forget it, because I will shoot you in the face if you do. Evil Jason.
I like how you did read that with an evil tinge.
Yeah, thanks. That's natural.
I mean, you're going to say it anyway.
I agree with him.
Oh, really?
I kind of do. I mean, that's an interesting thing. David mentioned last time. He said, "You guys talk about private property," and I said, "No, not really." I mean, after the zombie apocalypse, and if you have a farm, and you fit, I mean, it's a
Yeah.
freaking
Well,
farm.
what I know from Evil Jason is if Evil Jason had a farm, and
Evil Jason had a farm.
and will you have any rules about the farm in the apocalypse? And if not, then if the only rule is whoever comes along, I'm going to share this farm. I have a hard time believing that. I believe that there would be some boundaries there that Evil Jason wouldn't want to have crossed.
Right.
And so if Evil Jason had a farm, he had his boundaries where they were, and some other group came along and just crossed those boundaries. Would he expect to just let them stay there? No, he'd probably if you understand what he's on the other side of the equation.
Right,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
So basically, under these rules, it's like probably what Jason would say is, maybe I would fight them, but I would expect them to fight me. So when you get into this headspace of this is a different world and you got to protect it, and you don't have to live by any kind of morals anymore, you just do what you have to do to stay alive. Well, that's when you get a lot of fighting and conflict.
Yeah.
And what Rick is trying to do is negotiate,
Yeah.
which I still stand behind. But on the other hand, I do believe that you need to get harder, like he says, and I do think that you need harassers. And I think Shane's right to shoot that zombie in the chest and show Herschel that they're already dead anyway, so there's no saying.
Yeah.
But just because Shane's right about a couple of things, I still think he's a hothead. He's egocentric.
Yep.
He's reactive. He's not a stable person.
No.
I mean, I think I can't bring up this one person who I think is more stable, but we've not talked about him in this podcast. He's my favorite character. But, I think that Daryl is pretty stable. I mean, none of these guys are they're all really flawed, which I think in a horror show you need characters to be flawed, so they make mistakes and get people killed and it'll be exciting. Right? But I think that I don't think among them that Shane's the best. He scares me. I wouldn't want a guy like that in a group because if you think, oh, we need a guy like this in our group to stay alive, well, why don't you ask Otis if that's true? Except he's dead, so you can't really ask him.
Right. And exactly. I may not agree completely that Otis was on his last legs.
Yeah, Otis is a zombie wrangler. He's the only guy who got all the zombies in that barn. He had to have some kind of muscle to be able to do that.
I actually think that Shane made a mistake by shooting Otis. I think they could have gotten away. That's just my
Or even if they couldn't, I've said this before, but the really hard decision to make would have been to dive into the zombies himself. Shane.
Yeah.
And I guess you could argue, well, he thought I'll be better faster because I can protect this group. But so there's a barrier there. I kind of see that. But then number two is if you got to pick who is going to help you survive the most, then why save Carl? He's a child. He can't do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And I guess the counter argument is that you also need to think about repopulating and keeping the human race going. But if you think, I guess you could just raise Carl to be a commando or something.
Right.
So we're around.
He's going to be a commando.
He is. Yeah, yeah, thanks. So he wrote back more, and he has more interesting things to say. But I can't, if I read it, I'll take it half an hour. So Jeremy from Wi-Fi, we've been writing back and forth on the comments. I hope it's okay with Jeremy if I read this. I'm pretty sure it's just some talk. He says, I think Shane has some valuable thoughts, and you can't argue with his thoughts. Who want to first and foremost survive. He was right about Sophia and walkers. And I'm not saying I agree with going all inhumane and stuff, but you also need people like Shane to survive. Folks you can trust 100% all the time to do what it takes to survive. Would I want to be one doing it? No, but it's necessary. Yes. Shane needs a bit of reining in, but his attitude and by any means necessary approach to survival is beneficial to the group. I agree that if he I agree if he was like that, he could be a benefit. But I really do think he's prone to doing stupid things. So yeah.
Yep, agreed. And he's treated Lori very bad.
Yeah, he almost tried to rape Lori. He has done train on Rick once. He's gotten up in Dale's face in a way that goes beyond two guys conflicting to the point where he's giving Dale death threats for getting his business. I mean, he's trouble.
He's in trouble with weird earlobes. But he's right, Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy is from Livefire, which is this new service I've been using with the website, by the way, and it's helping us bring all the elements of communication from around the web together. Somebody comes on Facebook, shows up on our website now, so it's a really cool service.
That's cool.
He's jumping in the fray here, so hope you're good with the back and forth. 'Cause I enjoy it.
And this next one's from Jesse. In the most recent episode, there were many, but the one I really loved was when Sophia set out of the barn as a zombie. Everyone froze and fell back. Rick stepped forward and did what no one could do, even tough-ass Shane, who was previously acting like he was the one that was making hard decisions, and he was the one who would do, couldn't act. Rick saw what had to be done, and of course he was horrified, and of course he didn't want to do it, but he did what he had to do for everyone else. That's such a great carryover from the books and comics, and I personally feel is the main reason why the comics are so successful. The great character that Rick is. And Shane is on a total downward spiral, even more so than before. He is showing what a selfish piece of crap he is. He's trying to make Rick look like a weakling to Lori, and he's totally doing things with his interest in mind and not the groups. He's zombie bait as far as I'm concerned. Thanks for reading this.
What do you think of that one?
Yeah, I agree with that too. I do believe he's on a downward spiral, and you can see the wheels spinning in his eyes. Yeah, it's
He's just so stuck on Lori. That's going to be his undoing, it seems. If he just let go of that.
He's got that hot Andrea right there. You and me and the Hyundai.
I mean, in his defense, like that, just shooting a zombie in the chest, even though it was, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how else he could have done it, but it really did show Herschel. I know this is not the right thing to do, and that whole scene caused Rick to step up and go, no, I'm not going to be on Herschel's agenda here anymore. Like he tried to help Herschel wrangle those zombies, but you could see that he's like, no, we got to kill him. And he shot Sophia. And I really think that was a turning point for Rick. And I hope so too, because he's been kind of a wuss this season. I mean, he's very sad about his son, and he's trying to be negotiating everything, but he just doesn't come off like the kind of guy that you would naturally follow to me because he's so emotional all the time.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, he's trying to be peacemaker, and all that drama is all the Shane drama is unfortunate. I like it.
Okay, my Nick, this is from Nick. He said you made a comment about Shane sacrificing himself and letting Otis live in regards to how quote honorable Shane is or isn't. But Shane did offer that to Otis earlier, telling him to escape while he distracted the zombies. Otis of course declined the offer. Once you add in that Otis couldn't do what needed to be done in that situation, I think Shane using Otis as a wounded bait makes his actions more understanding. Kind of goes back to the line in the Dark Knight. Oh, Rick's the leader of the reserves, but Shane's the leader they need right now. I think that's what he's trying to say. So I just think Shane. Yeah, he told Otis, go on, I'll sacrifice myself. Otis didn't do it because Otis wanted to try and save Otis and not give him weak. And so when Shane, if he really wanted to do that, he could have just sacrificed himself anyway. Otis could have stopped him. That didn't mean that because Otis would not let Shane sacrifice himself. That doesn't mean that if Shane did it anyway, Otis couldn't get away.
Right.
Of course, he would have said, oh crap, Shane sacrificed, I better just sit here.
Right. Yeah.
I agree with that.
This is from Evan. I don't agree with Shane on everything, but douche or not, some of his actions and ideas make sense. I did not like the way he sacrificed Otis, but if his belief was only one of them could escape and Otis refused to take the bags and go when Shane told him to, then he made the decision designed to give Carl +1 the best chance. Carl +1 the best chance. It's not his first choice, yes, it's his best choice. And Darrenfall is a solid actor. It would be a shame if they kill Shane off. The Rick Shane dynamic is one of the best in the show. They play off each other well and have believable and are believable as partners, sheriffs, deputies, and long-term friends. Yeah,
totally.
Yep.
That's the thing is, as much as I'm like, oh, Shane, I wouldn't want Shane in this group, I do want him on the show.
Yeah.
Because it's so much fun to watch him to kind of not like him.
Right.
It's good to have someone to like. And also, I like him because it's true. I do, and I even find myself questioning, oh, wait, maybe they totally need him. It's kind of gray sometimes. So I'm like, okay, oh no, I didn't do this. This is also from Evil Jason after I responded to his last email. He says, dear goody two shoes. Don't worry about being harsh. I love thinking that guy. I often play devil's advocate. I told my wife about it, and she said, well, you are crazy. If we're talking honestly about best characters on the show, all I can say is because it's key.
Right. He's saying it's not.
Glenn, Evil Jason's just in love with Glenn. He says Glenn wins hands down. He's brave, clever, useful, and handsome. No, I don't. And the actor that plays him is fantastic. But everyone likes Glenn, so talking about how awesome he is boring. You're also right that Shane had a lot of bad points from a meta standpoint. I know Shane's the bad guy who is eventually going to turn on the group. I can see the writers railroading him into this. It's the writer's fault, not Shane's fault. Shane's character is a done deal. We know what road he's going to take. We can guess how his story ends. My argument is that you need a hard ass like Shane to survive in the world. Another thing that changes in the zombie apocalypse is equality. I'm a firm believer in equality. People should be treated equally, and you should like people for who they are, not what they can do for you. But in the zombie apocalypse, equality doesn't work. You can't treat everyone equally. You have to judge people on their usefulness. People who benefit the group become more important, and their survival is more necessary. You need a guy who can fix cars or train others how to use a gun more than you need someone who knows how to make fluffy pancakes or brick dance. For example, if you had to choose between saving Glenn and saving T-Dog, who would you choose? Obviously Glenn. Glenn gets shit done. T-Dog does what the fuck does T-Dog do? Smoke. Anyway, I'm sure you guys get my point. So take that same scenario and apply it to Shane and Otis. Shane knows he's fit, well trained. All Shane knows about Otis is that he's bleeding like he's gonna die and he tried to get on accident. So Shane made the right choice. It was a hard, shitty choice, but the right choice. Stay safe and don't get bit and learn useful skill for the apocalypse. So I have a reason to keep you around. I mean, I use the same thing I said before about Carl. If you're only having people who can help be useful, it would probably be best to go ahead and kill Carl right now so they don't have to worry about him, and he might cause somebody else to die.
He's not useful.
You might as well shoot Herschel because he's old and slow. You might as well just like Andrew's pretty good with a gun, so keep her around, keep Shane around, keep her around as long as Carol's out of here. Just chop her head right off.
I'm all for that.
Yeah, she agrees. Yeah, I find myself agreeing too. Okay, let's go.
The next question from Jennifer in Greensboro, North Carolina. Hi, Jason Karen. So, a lot of us are first time email. I love the podcast. One thing that's really bugging me though when you talk about the Shane Otis thing. It's all about guns. Go back and watch the episode where Shane eulogizes Otis. He tells the group that they were low on ammo, only one shot each, and then he gave Otis the guns to hold the walkers off while he got away. Notice Herschel's face. I bet he's remembering how Shane gave Rick back his revolver after he got back. They made a bit of a deal about it with the scene set up. Herschel knows something doesn't add up, and maybe it's just a little tickle idea at first. But later he and Rick are talking. Herschel says, "Are you sure about all of your people?" That's interesting. Let me cut in there and okay, I'll keep going. Okay, now flash Dale and argue with Andrea in the mid-season finale. He asks if she only got her own gun. Then after she leaves, he's looking in the gun bag, and the look on his face when he asks Glenn to get him some water is the same look of wait a sec. He's thinking about what a douche Shane is and about how his Otis story is sketchy, and he sees Ormond counts guns. How can Shane have a pistol if he gave it to Otis to hold off the walkers? That's why he takes the guns. He even says it later, but later it won't be long before he shoots one of us. So now my question is, for the second half of the season is when will that truth come out? When will Shane's story fall apart, and what will that do to splinter or strengthen the group? Anyway, chew on that thought. End the podcast. Thanks, Jennifer. Dang,
that's a good one. Huh?
That's a really good one.
Yeah, because it wasn't really clear how Dale knew, so he was so confident that Shane shot Otis. But I think she's right. I think he's counting guns.
And yeah, I think absolutely somebody has to keep track of all firearms. And
yeah, and he's like, didn't he give this to Otis?
Yeah.
And I wish that they would have made it a little more clear in the show because I hadn't thought that, and I know a lot of people online are saying that it's not believable that Dale would be sure about that, but this makes some sense.
It really does.
That's probably what happened.
Yeah, I agree.
We had some good discussion about that, but we just said, you're right, good job. Okay, thanks, Brandon. This next one's from Brian. Sophia dying made me think Carl may be in trouble. How fast is he going to grow up versus how fast the season progresses from time perspective? Either way, they will have to skip large parts of time or hope Carl's going to have a growth spurt. Live podcast, have fun, and practice sleeping in trees. What is that? Just like zombies, if the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah,
zombies
probably fine. Yeah, you don't have a practical skill.
That'll be my skill. I know. What can happen?
Maybe that's the problem with who's in the Lost? Walt. Yeah, next time we saw Walt, he was a teenager.
Yeah, they didn't even
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You're right. Maybe he'll be. You think, okay, here's like 3 choices. They'll kill him off. I hope they don't. They will skip ahead in time, or they will just not explain it like last and hope you don't notice.
Right, exactly. Or they're being Carl, they're getting a lot of coffee and making some cigarettes.
Yeah. Okay, so
This next one's from Bradley Strange. Yay, Bradley! He says, here are some cool haiku poems I thought of. I noticed that many people are doing ones about the bars themselves, but I would try to focus on the plotline instead. I'm down to my one last round in the chamber. Save it for Otis.
that's from Shane. Thank you.
Shane's really crazy, pretty much dead already. Naughty Shane. That's really good. She's in the barn. Did it have to come to this? Get over with. Get over with. That's great. Rick's under pressure. Herschel wants him off his land. Shane hates him for it. That's good too. Jason and Karen talking about The Walking Dead in the studio.
That's the point.
It's nice to you, exactly.
Sort of.
It's more of a
It's corner of the room.
It's corner of the room. Watching the finale, can't wait till February. Turning the page. That's not right. I hope it's fast. That's good too.
I like these. I already emailed, but if you would have written these in a few weeks ago, you could have trade paperback. Next time writing notes. This is from Zach. He says, how cool would it be for Otis to make a later appearance at the farm and everyone is able to see the bullet wound in his leg? Shane get busted. I think that'd be pretty cool, except it looks like the zombies were pretty much devouring the whole. So
Yeah, I don't think there's much of a leg left.
maybe his head would roll up. Roll down the hill.
And this was Jason's G. Watching The Walking Dead for the story characters is like reading Playboy for the articles.
It is, because it only has good articles and very few naked pictures, and The Walking Dead has a good story and very few zombies.
It's just like Playboy.
Exactly.
Thank you, Jason G.
Okay, I'm gonna read some negative iTunes review. One, is that okay with you?
I'm gonna hold myself
Okay,
back
because we've gotten several very positive ones, but I just think it's apropos to read this one. I don't know why. It's from Mistress. 5 stars. Best Walking Dead podcast out there. Casting interviews and such a great. My only complaint is Homegirl is obsessed with playing. That's I guess you. Get off his jock, will ya? LOL, just playing. Your session is cute in its own way. Keep going, guys.
I will get off his jock.
I read that.
That's
But
hilarious, actually.
that will represent all the viewers who want to sit off Glenn's jock.
And now I'm just off. I think I saw them back and forth.
But by the way, I'll take this opportunity to say that we've gotten tons of great reviews over the season. Like we've more than double how many reviews we had.
Are they
And
confusing us with the podcast?
they do say on This American Life podcast. But I just want to thank you guys. I asked you to do that because I think it helps us get noticed more, and it's one of the reasons why we've been able to get these interviews. And it's free for you to do so. If you haven't done it yet, we totally appreciate it. And just thanks to everyone who has.
Thanks, Evan.
Awesome. Okay, we got a couple calls. This one is from Bradley. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Bradley Strange. I'm working in a Louisville, Kentucky. This is my very first time calling into a podcast, so I'm really nervous over giving me a space out or anything. So, to start off, I'm a really big Walking Dead fan, and I was a Marine from 2019 at the beginning for Shane Hospital, and I had the chemical stuff and gas mask and all that stuff. Really cool. And I'm calling about the virology of.
By the way, he called back and clarified that he was there for Halloween. He was there for so you know.
So, and basically, what the virus is, and Morgan says, and he said, did you get scratched, you anything like that? That's the virus enters the body, makes its way to the brain, and it shuts it down just for meningitis, and there's a What happens is the virus infects the photo, breaks it down, and produces carbon, methane, and then nitrophosphate. Then nitrophosphate is used by every single animal on the planet. It's broken down into potential energy, which is energy stored until we use it. It's kinetic energy to move and function, and it produces carbon dioxide, which we breathe out. With zombies, they don't function like that. They eat just because their brain cells are bodies do. It's not because they have to or because they need energy from it. Energy is from the virus breaking down the low, and they only function until they have all their photos broken down by the virus. And Max Brooks says in the zombie trial that a zombie can function by the virus breaking down the photo because that's how you know the zombie if there's no photo. So basically, that's how zombie function. That's why the virus is so lethal that you can't lose vaccine because if you get a tiny strain, then it'll come to full-blown infection. So yeah, and as there's really two forms of a zombie. When they attack mode, when they're wandering mode, so if you're not using that sound for it, they attack a zombie, and then the warning zombie. So, bye. I really enjoyed it. Thanks. Bye.
Oh my god, that kid's a genius. Wow, Bradley, thank you so much for calling us.
So here's my question. If I understood you right, like you get the virus and then your brain, the frontal lobe is breaking down, and that's where the zombies get their energy. But then when the frontal lobe is completely gone, then they expire somehow. So what I wonder then is, over that time from when they first get infected to when they expire, are their mental capacities supposed to be slowly degrading? Because it seems to me that they're pretty consistent. They're just like, or like you said, there's attack mode and there's like stone down mode. Or is it just like this, the effect just overcomes them, but somehow their brain is like scrambled, but they're still part of that frontal lobe. They're left to use as energy, even though it can't function, even in cognitive function. So please call back in and tell me.
and get back to your homework.
And what the heck is?
And do the finals.
Eat your vegetables. Okay, next call is from Maria.
Hi, Jason Karen. This is Maria from San Francisco, California, and I had a cool comment to make about the pretty much already episode. So Herschel's saying that Otis used to get the zombies from the swamp. I just thought that, I had in the comics that Herschel's way of telling Rick that Otis is strong now and that they could potentially stay, but then it got ruined with the whole Jane killing all zombies and all that. Also, too, Sophia being a zombie, I kind of like that. I kind of just thought it would have been better if they would have found her alive and whoever tried to her then got killed, and I think kind of like to it to see her be a zombie because then, I don't know, maybe I was time wasted, but whatever. And I just read the email sent by Jason about the wasting time about the Sophia thing. It's like Daryl said, what else do you have to do, and it's true, I just have to do what you have to do, and I kind of thought about, like, wait, there's someone from my family, like, I probably do whatever it takes to find out, regardless if, the odds aren't in my favor. And, yeah, and also, too, about the whole, they'll need people like Shane to keep going, or to survive. I think it's the other way around. I think it's people like Shane need people like they'll keep them more grounded and sane and to not hold on to their humanity. And, yeah, so that's it, and that's long. So, yeah, have a good show. Thanks.
No zombie sound. So thanks, Maria. There's our counterpoint to Evil Jason.
Yeah, thanks, Maria.
That was good. And the only thing about Rick, about Herschel having Rick go out there, I don't necessarily think he was saying that was going to be his job, maybe, but more it was just like, just show us that you're on board with this.
Right.
Maybe it was though, because Otis is gone, so he needed somebody else to do it.
Can you also fix swamp zombies?
But here's another counterpoint to Maria. They didn't even name it. It's calling it.
He's calling me a little zombie.
Okay, shall we move on?
Let's do. It's been a slow week in Lake Zombie Gone. Lincoln, Batman, and lots of zombies. The most anticipated films of 2012. 2012 promises to be a fun year to go movies. With Christopher Nolan's Batman series closing out, the Avengers teaming up for the first time, and Daniel Day-Lewis reading the South Milkshake in Lincoln. February 13th, 2012 release of The Phantom Menace. The opening salvo and George Lucas' quest to once again re-ruin your favorite Star Wars films. Expect each of them to get 3D treatment over the next few years. And I can't just, yes. And can I just say that we're all clamoring to see a naked Kate Winslet and the sinking of the Titanic in glorious 3D. I don't know them actually wanting to see that in glorious 3D.
I will actively avoid it.
But I was thinking, okay, so you say Lincoln, Batman, and lots of zombies. So I'm wondering, lots of zombies, what does that refer to? One of the things that refers to, one of the things that refers to is World War Z. I forgot.
That's 2012.
That's coming up
Cool.
in
People have been writing saying, would you guys consider over the hiatus reading World War Z and reviewing it? And
Yes.
I'm like, let's watch the movie. Because I have a little kid and not have time. Actually, I already listened to the audio, but I've already forgotten a lot of it.
I'll listen to the
Okay, if you listen to the audio, we'll talk about it.
I will listen to the
We're
audio.
definitely both watching the movie.
One of the movies, yeah. Okay, wait, actually. One of the movies that they're saying is one of the most anticipated movies is based on a book that I just got done reading and I'm totally obsessed with. I'm in the trilogy right now. The Hunger Games.
Oh, really? I've heard about that. I don't really know much about it, though. That was for kids, no?
It is a young adult book, but it is not just for kids. Set in a future where the capital selects a boy and girl from 12 districts to fight to the death on live television.
Wow. Oh, cool. That sounds great.
I'm so obsessed with the
Oh,
book.
cool. Is it well written?
Oh, it's so good. I'm on the second book right now. Suzanne Collins is the author. And it's basically a gal who kind of reminds me a little bit of a Buffy character. And she's in one of the districts. It's a future. It's set in a future where things are going very, very bad for the world. The capital is incredibly wealthy, and they make all the different districts do different things for them and sort of be their slaves. Like there's one district, the coal mining district. That's the district she's from. Her name is Katniss Everdeen. And Katniss is chosen to represent her district in Hunger Games, and they fight to death in a battle royale. And they have cameras and microphones on at all times, basically. And you watch them like.
Is any of the stuff you're saying, is it like the general plot? It's not spoiler, right?
Not at all.
Okay.
No, that's all that happens at the end. It's a trilogy, and it's awesome. Some other movies of note that are coming out. I mean, there's some that are the standard remakes, but there's some that are kind of interesting. And this is a remake that I can't wait for. Actually, it's Tim Burton's remake of a movie that he did a long time ago called Frankenweenie. It's really interesting. That's the trailer I was watching. It's a 30-minute trailer online. Go and check it out. It's really pretty. Tim Burton also has a movie coming out, Dark Shadows, based on the British series.
Never saw it. It was good.
Yeah, me too. That should be interesting. There's Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter that's coming out, which is hilarious, and also another Hunter movie, Hansel and Gretel, Witch Hunters. So yeah, it's gonna be an action year. I'm looking forward to it.
So the zombies are World War Z.
Yeah, I can
in
see.
those-
Yeah, like, kind of zombies.
Yeah.
I guess there's a lot of zombies in movies. Yeah, I guess that's what they're referring to. And the next article is from the Guardian newspaper in the UK. Guardian's really funny. I like reading articles from them. The UK has a spoil of riches when it comes to newspapers. There's all kinds of great newspapers over there. I always buy everything possible. Kind of run to the Hero Report. Anyway, so this is the article called Santa versus Satan versus Zombies. Who will win the battle for Google Maps? Father Christmas faces the devil and the undead in this academic research from Oxford University and now in Google Maps. So kind of interesting. The article says you better watch out, you better not cry, or the zombies might get you. It may be nearly Christmas, but that doesn't mean Santa is running the web. In parts of the US, he's on the run from both the undead and the Lord of Darkness. And yes, this is serious academic research. So the guy who's doing this is named Mark Graham, and his team is at the Oxford Internet Institute. And they've mapped lots of things before. Apparently, Graham also runs the blogs BlogsFloatingSheet.org and ZeroGeography.net. Worked with Monica Stevens and a couple of guys to look at the amount of content indexed by Google Maps at each location containing the term Santa, and then comparing it to zombies and Satan. So some places have more content referring to Santa, and others have more content mentioning zombies, the devil, or Satan. Says Graham, we basically just want to see whether the places we live in are augmented by more Christmas-related information or more devilish, ghoulish-related information, all in the name of science, of course. There's a lot of work behind this and how they do it. They created a database on a grid of all the landmasses in the world, and then they constructed for each point using a sliding variable size based on the. Anyway, go on for just a second. Sorry about that. The resulting maps are part of the team's mission to determine the mythological and ecclesiastical contours of the web, and of course protect humankind from the impending zombie apocalypse, and essentially tell us whether America is augmented by more Christmas-related information or more ghoulish-related information. So now you wonder, where in the United States is this?
I'd say in the cities are more zombies and in rural areas are more Santa.
You would be right.
Is that right?
But it's surprising. Houston, Dallas, Chicago, and San Francisco all have more content referring to Satan than zombies, and zombies than Santa. In both Texas and Florida, Satan clusters are bigger than the zombie clusters observed earlier, and the line of preoccupation with Satan remains behind eastern seaboard cities. So I guess folks from New England and the Mid-Atlantic should drive carefully and not pick up any shambling or horned hitchhikers they may see. Kind of interesting.
That's weird.
Yeah, really weird. So that's the news from my zombie. All women are dead, all men are bad looking, all children are brain eating freaks.
Okay, that's our show, episode 52. Thanks for listening, everybody. I want to give thanks to the Walking Dead fan club. They're at thewalkingdeadfanclub.com. They put a link for us recently about their interview, so I wanted to give them a mention. They have tons of Walking Dead news. In fact, I get some of my news for the podcast, so if you're checking it out. They have interview links, forums, and a store with like shirts and comics, Walking Dead figures and games, all kinds of stuff. So check it out, thewalkingdeadfanclub.com. Also, while I'm on that kind of thing, I want to give a shout out to roamersandlurkers.com. It's all forums about The Walking Dead. I think I haven't mentioned them before on this podcast because I go there and take part in the forums sometimes, and it's pretty cool. In-depth conversation about both the show and the comic that are separated in separate forums. So if you want to hear the comic, you can just go to the show. And so yeah, they're pretty cool. Next week we'll have more news, and I have this little fun surprise that I'm hoping we'll hand out. So we'll see. It's not like a casting or anything. It's kind of fun. But either way, we'll be back. It's not next week, but in 2 weeks on the day before New Year's Eve.
Yeah, the 30th. On Friday the 30th at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5:30 Eastern time.
In the meantime, what?
Do you have a top 5?
Locations. Okay. So
Yeah, I like
the next top 5 for next time on the 30th is the top 5 locations where you want to be stranded in the zombie apocalypse and why.
I like it.
So send them in. In the meantime, if you'd like to give us a call, you can reach us at 650-485-DEAD at 650-485-3323.
You can email us at brains@walkingdeadcast.com.
And check out our website in the comments at walkingdeadcast.com.
We're also on Twitter at Jason Karen and on Facebook at facebook.com/deadcast.
All right, that's our show.
Thanks for listening.
Don't get slammed. Okay, till success.
Blank.